Each year, American Library Association, which is the governing body of all library types in America, set aside 1 week for libraries throughout the whole country to, one, celebrate the very existence of the library, two, honor all the hard work put into the library, and three, show all the library has to offer as far as services and support to our patrons. This year, as you can see from our banners, the theme for National Library Week is Communities at Our Library. And it started yesterday, Monday through this Friday, so it's 15th to the 19th. And because we have communities in our library, Dallas Metro is celebrating our communities. All the publications in our community, that's the celebration that we are bringing to communities at our library, which is the main theme given to us from National Library Association. So the library has displayed books authored by our Dallas Metro faculty on my right side behind the library staff. Those are all publications by our faculty, and there are special collections including faculty theses, published works, and conference presentations. When you see the professors around campus, please congratulate them and pat them on their back for their talented publications. So without further ado, to celebrate books and publications within our community, I would like to introduce Dr. Lori Hawks, Honors Council Chair.
I'm not sure if she's waving or wanting you to applaud more.
More.
Welcome. I'd like to greet all of you and say what a wonderful occasion this is to have you all assembled here. I'd like to thank in particular Dean Rhonda Lewis for taking time out of her busy schedule, as well as Dean Craig Lassane, who is also taking provocative pictures, which he will publish later on Facebook perhaps. I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your schedule to honor someone who in our Devry family has risen through his initiative to publish a work of literature. It's not my purpose to thoroughly recognize Abdus, because that will come with my colleague, who is Dr. Peggy Rupp. I'd like to tell you about Dr. Peggy Rupp. She too is a published author. She has had work in delivering papers at conferences, and she inspires us all through her kind and generous support for everything we do. We have a secret word for her. We call her our Obi-Wan. She teaches us, she mentors us, she actually helps us to get over tough spots. She is always there for us to ask questions and also for us to marvel at her high energy and varied interest. Part of that high energy was editing Abdus's book, which is in itself a wonderful work of art. I'll tell you, Abdus, my favorite was The Journey of a Lonely Heart. And in this short story, Abdus is able to introduce us to a soul and a heart. And when the two combine with courage to go forward, it is a wonderful moment. Let me introduce to you, proudly, my colleague, Dr. Peggy Rupp.
I'm very humbled by Dr. Hawks' words. And this is not about me, this is about Abdus. So, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a few things. I have many, many stories of Abdus, but I will not spend this time telling you about them. So when Abdus first asked me if I would read a story he had written, of course I said yes. I mean, I was used to such requests, you know, as an English professor. I had all sorts of students and would-be writers who would say, oh, I've written a poem or I've written a story, would you read it? And so I always said, well, certainly I would love to do that. And usually I would enjoy the stories and the poems, and I would always return them with words of encouragement, never to hear from the writers again. This time, however, everything would be different. Abdus had my attention and awe from the opening paragraph of his story on the Euphrates. From that point on, I savored his true literary craftsmanship, hesitating to make any marks, his editor, despite Abdus's insistence on the literal use of my red pen. As time passed, I was the joyful recipient of each new story, never really thinking or realizing that this would become a book. However, it has, due to Abdus's, not only his artistry, but his persistence. And working with him has been just a great pleasure of my life. It was so easy, always humbled by any errors that I did note, whether with the red pen or not. He quickly made the corrections, always reminding me of his lack of knowledge of English. Go figure that. Yet I, the English professor, became the insatiable student, content to sit at the feet of this stunning writer. I marveled at his mastery of language, savoring story after story, every one of which touched the depths of my heart. And my hope is that my minor behind-the-scenes role in this has been worthy of the true star whom we're honoring today, Abdus Sattar. Abdus, please come up. Abdus, you don't have to speak, but you need to come up. As a tribute to you, today we honor you, Abdus Sattar, at this momentous event as one of the very few published creative writers of the Dallas Devry Metro. We remember the words of the narrator's mother in your story, Glory of the Dust, who had always taught her son, for all of us, life is a gift to be revered as divine. Abdus, we accept and we applaud your gift of distant harmony, stories from around the world, given appropriately during National Library Week, and we will treasure it in our archives, as I hope you will treasure this. Yes. Excuse me. Oh, what? Raise it up? Yes. Hold it up. Hold it up. She wants to. Woo! And